Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of February 8th through the 14th. And during that time, I still have the waning gibbous left over from last week. That continues for a couple of days. And of course, that's a really good time of self-reflection and rebirth and a good time to get rid of our bad habits. We then have the third quarter moon that comes in on the 10th. And the third quarter is really, it's when we're starting to wrap up those things that we started on the new moon. So it's a time for us to attain our full potential, get rid of negative emotions and emotions, and just really buckle down and finish up those things that we've just started. We then move into the waning crescent for the last couple of days. And that is a time of calm and stability, a good time to be thoughtful and think about the ways that we want to grow in the next cycle that's coming up, and what ways, what things we might want to change or start with the new moon. So that's a lot, but keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. There's a lot of different changes with that. So this will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: it's time to take action. New moon in Aries card. All right, let's see what Gemini needs to take action on this week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you this week is that you take some time to meditate, not just this week, of course, but every week if you can. And if it's not something that you normally do, starting might be a good thing for you, but especially during this moon energy right now that we are having. It is a time for us to do some inward reflection, and meditation is great for that. So, try to give that a little shot this week if it's not something that you normally do. Just make a point to set aside a little bit of time just for yourself to be quiet. You might need headphones. Sometimes I use a guided meditation from YouTube. There's plenty of options there, or I'm sure there's a lot of guided meditations out there that you can use and try. So, or if not, just go ahead and enjoy the quiet. All right, let's get into this reading. Gemini, February 8th through the 14th. Also, happy Valentine's Day. Let me sneak that in there if I forget. It is time to take action. Your present energy right now is the Six of Pentacles, so in taking action, is this a time for you to give or a time for you to receive? It could be either. You'll know instantly. I feel like I always ask people what's happening in this card, when I'm doing an in-person reading and have that person tell me, because I feel like you can take that card either way. But if it's a time for you to give, it is time. And if it's a time to receive, go ahead and do that. Do both graciously. And what is your current situation right now? Is the Nine of Pentacles. So maybe you are kind of flush and it is a time for you to give. It looks like you're enjoying the fruits of your labor a little bit. You're doing very well right now. And so if it's time to take some sort of action in the way of giving, then maybe that's something that you need to follow up on and do. If I remember, you guys also had a very lucky week last week. So maybe you're just kind of rolling in the dough and feeling lucky this week. At the root of your situation is the Lover's card, which is a very nice card to come up for the week of Valentine's week. Maybe you're going to be, gift giving a little bit to your love, which is nice if you're feeling very generous for giving, and you are feeling like enjoying the fruits of your labor. And as the wife of a Gemini, that's great. I love this reading so far. I hope my husband's listening. So yeah, you can indulge a little bit on your lover. I think that's a great idea. In your recent past is the Four of Cups. So you might have been feeling a little bit dissatisfied about something in your past, and maybe you're over that and you do want to indulge a little bit. And maybe it was your relationship that you were feeling a little dissatisfied with. And if that's the case, in my case, I'm so sorry. And I hope things are better for you now. And if it's the case in your case, I'm sure you feel the same way. I hope whatever you weren't happy about the universe offering you, things have changed and maybe you just have a better outlook now, and you're feeling a little bit like indulging a little bit and enjoying the fruits of your labor. What's on your mind this week is the Temperance card. I've seen this card a couple times already in the readings. And, this is a card of just really nice, perfect balance, things going very well. I just see this as, especially in the lover aspect, this is happy, fun times. This is feeling well balanced, give and take, good conversation, laughter, just everything that's very positive. And I think that's great. I do love that. What is just ahead of you this week? Well, is the Five of Swords. So, maybe watch your tongue a little bit. There might be things that I say with this card, we're taught that it's winning through deceit or underhanded tactics. Like, and how does this guy feel winning? Because he got the last word in, but because it's a card of swords, I always think about, are you saying things that's hurting? Not really winning, but, did you say some things that hurt someone's feelings? And, maybe you didn't say everything, but you said enough, right? So maybe just watch the mouth. Maybe watch how you are communicating this week to make sure that you're not hurting feelings or just saying the wrong thing. Try to say the right thing. Just try to be a little bit more conscious of it. If it's something that you've been going through or you feel like you're always putting your foot in your mouth, maybe it's just something to look at and just make sure, just try to, what's the saying? If you can't say anything nice, and I always say then STFU, but that's not because I think it's funny. But if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So, in your advice position, and I say the other thing because I think that's personally hilarious to say that. In your advice position, oh, look, is the sun, is don't worry, be happy, right? Be happy. Be happy, be grateful, look at the things around you, when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your financial life, when it comes to, maybe a little bit of dissatisfaction here with the 4 and 5 and watching, having to watch what you say to just be happy. Maybe being happy is just what you need to work on a little bit more. So that's always a great message for any of us. What is beyond your control this week is the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords doesn't mince words, but she also may hurt feelings. So beyond your control is to maybe say things in a very, the Queen of Swords is like the King of Swords, very logical, very, this is the way it is. But is the Nine of Pentacles. I even see her, even though she's about Pentacles, she's probably not as harsh as the Queen of Swords here. Try to maybe take on the feminine energy of that logical side of yourself, and maybe, where the Queen of Swords, the King is more about the knowledge and I know a thing, where the Queen is really more about the understanding. She's still very logical, but it's beyond your control to kind of take on that more feminine energy of that logical side of yourself this week, which, might lead to just being a little happier. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Oh, look, the Two of Cups. Hopefully, your secret desire is to come together in a fun and happy way. Hopefully, with this lover partner, could be, or friendship. There's a lot of twos. When I see this Temperance card, I always think of the Two Cups because she's holding on to two cups and just doing that back and forth there. So, beyond your control, to be in partnership, to be, to have fun, I think, with your partner. Again, if you get to do the date night on Valentine's night, then a nice gift, a nice relax, be happy, learn how to be happy, learn how to sit in that energy. In your outcome position is the Page of Cups. And what does this one mean? Just hold on to that sense of humor and have a sense of humor, maybe lighten up. I feel like this whole week might for you be about lightening up. I might even title the video that way. Lighten up a little, Gemini. Have a little fun. Time to take action, maybe in the romantic sense, but lighten up and have fun and realize, and just don't worry, be happy. What is hidden from you this week is the Knight of Wands, which is action in the passion realm. So, maybe things aren't quite as passionate, but maybe it is just about being light and fun this week. And again, having that sense of humor. I'm just seeing so many cups right here around. If you're a little dissatisfied, you have to be the change, right? You have to make the changes to make things happy. And if that just means just sometimes just be happy, sometimes that's just good advice. Can't we all just be happy for a minute? Okay. Let's see what the Soul Oracle deck has to say with a final message here for Gemini. Final message, February 8th through 14th for Gemini. All right. And the card that you get is to refine your attention. Okay. So what does that mean for you? Refine your attention. And maybe it is about just be happy. Can we focus here for a bit and maybe let some other stuff? Can we just have a sense of humor, come together in friendship and fun and be light, right? And don't worry, be happy and have a sense of humor. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Gemini this week. Self-care, February 8th through the 14th. Okay, success. All those little gift boxes there. Today is a really good day. period. You're in the flow, problems are solved quickly and easily. Helpful people show up for you, and unexpected gifts fall into your lap. That's great. I love that. Success today is a really good day. Hopefully, that is your whole week. And just realize that unexpected things can happen and fall into your lap. And it does make for just, let's just be happy. Can we just have that energy? So, Gemini, thank you so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away. I think it's a very positive reading for you this week. So, if it's time to take some sort of action, maybe on the romantic front, just be happy, have a good time. Remember your sense of humor. Also, if you like my reading style, please click like and subscribe. It really helps me. I appreciate that so much. It'll also help you find me next week where you can come back and we can see where this energy goes. So, thanks so much, Gemini. Good luck with this, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.